Mr. President, thank you, and congratulations on leading our state Senate again, and to you, Marty, for your reappointment as Majority Leader. It has been a pleasure to work with you. For those of you who don't know of the private conversations we had, most recently this morning, we're trying to adopt Senator Williams into our Republican row over here, but he's been reluctant. I want to start by thanking all of my colleagues for so many of your calls and text messages over the last couple of weeks, encouraging me and offering me help and support with everything that has happened in Newtown. And I also want to thank you for today. I came here today, unlike other times, to be sworn in. Had a meeting this morning with the Newtown delegation and our first selectwoman, thinking that today would be a little bit different. And it was about work and doing the business at hand. But thankfully, because of this great Senate, the magic of the moment of being sworn in brought me back to the very first time. And I think that has a way of doing it for all of us. So I want to thank you for that as well. I want to thank Senator Fasano especially, but our entire caucus. Len, I wouldn't be doing this again if Len didn't agree to do it with me. That's about as blunt as I can say it. Len has been there to do everything I can't, and he is a tremendous leader in his own right. Len, thank you for all of that. And most importantly, thank you for your friendship to me over all these years. Mr. President, we do have difficult task at hand, as you mentioned. Too many of our citizens in Connecticut still can't find a job. We have difficult budget issues to face. I think we all know, you use the term, our state's at a crossroads. It's a good term. We all know that we can't think and act the way we have for years and years. It is time for us to look at things differently. It is time for us to think outside the box, think big, and not be afraid to make change in our state government, how we spend our money and where we spend our money. We also are going to be dealing with very difficult issues regarding what happened in Newtown and the tragedy thereof. Whether it's gun control, treating people with mental health issues, school safety, and others. It is my hope that we will do so in a bipartisan way, in a way that deals with facts. It's always difficult to remove all emotion, and we can't and we shouldn't. But to do it with as little emotion as possible to get the job done. I hope we also won't forget that too many of our families and small businesses were hit terribly hard by a bad storm and are still struggling to get their homes together, their businesses back together, and our responsibility to make sure that we can help those individuals and protect our shoreline from future storms as well. I wasn't planning these remarks. I didn't know that we were going to have these two wonderful poets this morning. But it just struck me that the idea that people shunned Prudence Crandall for actually having the audacity to teach a young African-American girl is so foreign to us now in 2013, thankfully. I hope there's a day, sooner rather than later, when the idea that every time a Democrat says yes, Republicans must say no, and every time a Republican says yes, Democrats must say no, is foreign to government as well. It has been here in Connecticut, unlike Washington. I am proud of the fact that we were able to come together in a jobs package. I am proud of the fact that we were able to come together in a deficit mitigation package. We will not always agree. We will have debates, sometimes at great length. None of us should give up our principles and our core beliefs. But I think it is safe to say that we can still maintain our principles and yet come together on consensus items that are important to the people of the state of Connecticut that we all represent and move forward. That is the spirit with which I believe we will operate over the course of this session. And with that, Mr. President, I'd like to just close with an introduction of a woman who is as strong as any I've ever met, a leader unlike no other, and someone who, not single-handedly, but perhaps more important than most, has kept my community, our community, all of our community of Newtown together, and that is the first selectwoman of Newtown, Pat Lodra. I'd like to introduce her to the Senate.
Thank you, Senator McKinney.